Hey there, friends. Just an update about the class request process. Many of you have given me good phone numbers to contact you on, and I've been trying to work down that list. It's been very painstakingly slow, just because of other things that I've needed to do to make sure that students are taken care of with their work. And also, of course, I've got 4 school-age children at my house myself, so it's just been a little crazy. Some of you guys have done something on your own in regards to class requests that I thought was a pretty good idea, so I wanted to tell all of you guys about it. I would love for you to do this as well. On this email, I sent you guys a copy of the 10th grade class request. I'm going to walk through this with you guys, and what I want you to do is you can send me a list of the classes that you choose, okay? Or if you really want to be advantageous, you can save this document and edit it somehow. Maybe if you save it to your phone, that would probably be the easiest thing. Save it as a photo, and then you could open it up and mark it up, make highlights and marks or circles or check marks or whatever, and email it back to me. Or again, simply you can just make a list of your 8 classes and send them to me. But basically, at the end of the day, you've got to have 8 classes represented on this sheet. Now, keep in mind, year-long classes like band, choir, orchestra, ROTC, that sort of a thing, they count as 2 classes, okay, because they're year long. Does that make sense? So your 8 classes are representative of your 4 blocks each semester, your 4 main academic blocks. So this has nothing to do with second block. We do second block another way. But this sheet covers blocks 1, 4, 5, and 6. So again, you need 8 classes picked with your year-long classes counting as 2 of those 8 each. Okay, clear as mud? Okay, so we're going to walk through this together, okay? And I'll tell you, we'll talk about what you have to have, what you want to have, that sort of a thing, okay? So first of all, we're going to start off with your English, okay? So you need to choose either regular English 10 or honors English 10. The AH, that stands for honors. Remember, if you're in an institute, then you're still going to choose honors English 10. Those do count as honors because of the PBLs and that sort of a thing. If you're not in an institute and you want to take honors English 10, still mark honors English 10. We'll have a section of honors English for kids that are not in institutes. Or if you're not an institute and you want to take regular English 10, then you're going to choose regular English 10, okay? So you're going to choose one of those. Next is your math. The bulk of you guys this year, if you're in Algebra 1, then you're going to take geometry next year, okay? There's regular geometry, or there's AH honors geometry if you want that extra push and a challenge. Honors classes do go a little bit faster. There's going to be more work with them, but you do get 3 extra points added on to the end of your average. So these, again, are for B students that want some more rigor in their class. Now, if you took geometry this year, then you're going to take Algebra 2 next year. So you're going to choose either regular Algebra 2 or honors Algebra 2. So mark 1, okay? Next, we'll move down to social studies. If you have not taken world history this year, then you need to take it next year. So you're going to mark SDC, world history, and geography. SDC stands for state dual credit. This means you have the opportunity for a free college credit based on how you do at the end of your exam. So that's great. Also, I hand wrote some options in here, some electives. We are going to offer some AP social studies classes next year that are open to 10th grade and up. AP basically are college level classes that are taught by our teachers in-house here at Hixson, okay? So these classes are rigorous. They're as challenging as you can get. They meet national standards that are consistent all across the country. They look excellent on your transcript, especially if you are looking to get into a competitive college. The credit that you receive college-wise is based on how you do on your AP exam. You could score anywhere from 1 to 5, and it just depends on which college you go to as to what score you would need to have. But again, excellent opportunities. So we're going to offer AP Modern World History and AP Human Geography. If you want to Google those classes, you can go to the College Board website and view some class descriptions for those, and it can tell you what those would entail. But again, these are just electives, the AP classes. Those are for our honors students, AB students that want some rigor, want a challenge, want an impressive looking transcript. So you can take one of those if you are interested in, but again, those are not a requirement. The only requirement in this section is SDC, World History and Geography. You've got to have that next year if you haven't had it this year. Okay, next let's move on to your science. We've got, most of you guys are going to check biology, okay? So you can go ahead and check biology or honors biology, the AH biology, one of those two. If you took biology this year, then you can take chemistry next year. There's regular chemistry and there's honors chemistry, so you can mark one of those, okay? But again, most of you guys are going to check biology. All right, moving on down is your foreign language, okay? You'll check Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. You do Spanish 1 in the fall, Spanish 2 in the spring. There's a few of you guys that have a Spanish 1 credit and did not take Spanish 2 this year. You started it in 8th grade. I would recommend just retaking it, doing Spanish 1 in the fall, Spanish 2 in the spring, because that's a really long time of a gap for you guys to not take Spanish 2 yet. So that would be my recommendation. Go ahead and check Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. If you took Spanish 2 this year, then you're good. You don't have to worry about it. Unless you'd like to take Spanish 3, and I think that will be offered during second block next year. And we'll talk about that later. Okay, next in the health and fitness category, if you have not had wellness yet, then you need to check wellness, okay, unless you've had a full year of ROTC. If you've had a full year of ROTC, then wellness is not required. But everybody else, wellness is required, okay? Wellness is not PE, okay? Wellness is wellness, PE is PE. You have to have a wellness credit, and you have to have a half credit of PE. A lot of you guys have half credit of PE from middle school, and you don't have to take it. Or if you're in marching band, you don't have to take PE. Also, if you play a sport with us, you do not have to take PE. So if that's taken care of, then the only thing you'll have to worry about is personal finance. And we can take care of that in a variety of different ways. We're not in a huge hurry to have that taken care of during 10th grade. But if you want to take some PE, then I would encourage you to check this one, PE/personal finance. Just put one check right there, just one. It doesn't matter which line it is on, just to check. And then that would take care of the personal finance requirement. That's 9 weeks of PE and 9 weeks of personal finance. There's also weight training is there if you want to take that as an elective. Okay, our cadets for ROTC, you're going to choose the second year ROTC down there, ROTC 2. If you've not taken ROTC and you're interested in starting it next year, then you can check up here the top one, ROTC for the first year. Okay, Sergeant Burhans is definitely always into having new cadets, so you're more than welcome to try it in 10th grade if you have room for that in your schedule. Okay, next in the middle is the fine arts section. If you've not had a fine arts class yet, then let's go ahead and do that in 10th grade, okay? Your main options for your fine arts credit are Visual Arts 1, Theater Arts, Music History. Music History is a good fit if you're not interested in performing or making art in any way. It's more of a traditional classroom class, learning the history of music and different genres, composers, that sort of a thing. And then there is instrumental music for band right there in the middle. Vocal Music 1, so that's for first year choir people. So if you weren't in choir this year and you want to do it next year, then you're going to choose Vocal Music High School 1. If you're in choir this year, you want to keep going, then you're going to choose Vocal Music High School 2. Okay, that's second year choir. And then on the bottom is orchestra, so you'll do that one at the bottom there. Now we're going to talk about our institutes, okay? Even if you weren't in an institute this year and you're interested in one, keep listening. I'll give you instructions on how to do that. Okay, first is our agriculture program. This year you're in agri-science, and so now you need to figure out which direction you want to go into for next year. So there's 3 different ways that you can go. First of all is the plant science and plant science and hydroponics. That's where you are learning the science behind growing food. Okay, so you'll get out in the greenhouse some, learning about the lettuce, all that good stuff. That's with Mr. Freelander, so that's his track. Okay, so that's what you would choose if you're interested in that. Next one is small animal science. So if you're interested in the veterinary program here at Hickson, then you will choose small animal science. On the bottom, or excuse me, not the bottom, but the third one is the natural resources / applied environmental science. So that's with Mr. Kaler. So that is learning the science behind like landscaping, turf management, getting out in the woods on the TWRA land, that sort of a thing. It's pretty exciting. So that's his track. Now, if you were not in ag this year and you're interested in being ag, or you have a desire, say, to take animal science or whatever, you've got to take agri-science first. So you can choose agri-science and then you can choose small animal science. Or you can check agri-science and then check the natural resources track, whichever one you want to go into next. So you take agri-science in the fall and then your second level class in the spring. All right, next is health science. So for you guys that have already had health science education, right now you're going to get ready to take your second level class, okay? So here's your 3 options. You've got medical therapeutics, so that is if you're interested in nursing and medical assisting, you'll check that one. You'll check rehabilitation careers if you're interested in physical therapy or occupational therapy or athletic training. And then you'll check dental science if you're interested in dental, working with the teeth. Now, if you were not in health science this year and you would like to be in it next year, then you need to choose health science for your first level class and then think about whatever your second level class would be and go ahead and mark that one. So you'll take health science education in the fall and then whatever your second level class is in the spring. If you're in the business program, you're in intro to business and marketing this year. So that means you will check business communications for your second level class. Put a check there. If you did not take any business classes this year and you're interested in taking them next year, then you can go ahead and check intro to business and marketing and then check business communications. So that will get you caught up with the 10th graders. Now, something with all 3 of these programs, guys, if you get into your second level class, then that means I've got to complete you. Okay, that means you've got to have at least 3 classes in that program. Okay, so you can take 1 class in one of these programs, or you can take 3, but I can't let you have just 2. Okay, so please keep that in mind. These are for serious students that are willing to go through and complete the program. Okay, now you've got rooms for some electives. I'm getting hot, so I'm turning on the air. You've got rooms for some electives right here in the global studies area. If you're not in one of these other pathways, global studies would probably be a good fit for you. So there's creative writing, mythology, Old and New Testament, African American history, journalism, that's for some serious writers, SDC psychology, SDC speech and communication. Anybody can take these classes. The psychology and the speech communication do have the potential for college credit based on how you do in the exam, okay? It's kind of like with the world history. Now also, if you feel like you don't know what your pathway is, you have to have a pathway, okay? We've got 6 at Hickson. There's fine arts, ROTC, health science, agriculture, business, and then global studies. If you feel like you don't fit into any of these, then I think you would be a great candidate for our half-day program at Sequoia, where you could take classes in welding or cosmetology, wiring, construction, auto maintenance, auto body, those sorts of things. If you're interested in that, then you need to let me know. You could ride the bus, go to Sequoia, take 2 vocational classes there, then come back here and take your core academic classes here. Okay, so please let me know if you're interested in the half-day Sequoia program. So basically, you've got to have 8 classes selected, guys. Okay, 8 classes. That includes counting year-long things as 2. So counting choir as 2, or ROTC as 2, or band as 2. You've got to have 8. Now, some of you guys are going to run into a crunch with your foreign language. So if you are in ROTC and band, both, you're going to run into a crunch with your foreign language. Reach out to me if you feel like you're in a crunch and we can brainstorm and try to come up with some ideas to keep you, where you want to take all your classes, okay? So again, you can save this to your computer, mark it up, email it back to me, or you can just type me out a list of the 8 classes that you want to choose, okay? And that would help me out greatly, and I would love it. And I hope you all have a great day. And let me know if you need something. Goodbye.